Well, hey, thank you so much. I can hear the noise around you there. What kind of feeling are you picking up? What kind of vibe in the room now as the trend is going? And I'm sure they're not ready to call any victory yet, but it does seem to be trending Ed Gallrein's way right now.
It does certainly seem that way right now. Just 44% of precincts reporting, but it's 55% of the votes for Gallrein and 45 for Massey. So the Trump-backed ex-Navy SEAL does have an early lead, and his campaign's picked up a lot of steam in recent weeks. Behind that Trump endorsement and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth coming here to Hebron, Kentucky, just yesterday to show his support for Gallrein. Now it's high spirits here. Gallrein walked in just around an hour ago, smile on his face, and that tracks with the results so far. Now, again, only up 49%. This is a live update. 46% for Massey of the votes, 54 for Gallrein, so that gap is narrowing as we speak a little bit, but 49% of precincts now reporting Gallrein still an early lead, something to keep an eye on. But live here in Covington, I'm Logan McDonald.
Hey, Logan, if you can still hear me, I got a couple of questions for you, if that's okay. Ed Gallrein said in an interview up there in Cincinnati over the weekend on being a puppet for Donald Trump. In fact, he told your TV station, WCPO, I can't be bullied, I can't be BS'd, and I can't be bought. Do you get the sense, though, that people in that room want him to be a rubber stamp for President Trump because Thomas Massey was so independent of Trump?
That does seem a little bit of a positive for the supporters of Gallrein, him being lockstep with the president. That's actually something that Gallrein also highlighted a lot yesterday at that event in Hebron with Pete Hegseth, talking about the need for somebody to advocate for the president and his administration. Hegseth talking about the need to not have an obstructionist, as he said, like Thomas Massey. And it seems like the supporters of Gallrein, that's what they want. They want somebody who can support the president and his agenda. And that seems to be a positive for those who are placing a vote for Gallrein over Massey.
So the Cincinnati television market is really crucial to this district. In Louisville, we sort of covered just a few of the counties in the big 4th congressional district. And Ed Gallrein turned down 8 different debates. Where did people in your viewing area learn about him? Was it through last-minute interviews? I saw him on Cincinnati TV a lot over the weekend.
Yeah, it really does seem like a lot of this has been, kind of brought forth by the Trump administration. Some of this public awareness. Again, that Hegseth event yesterday, I was there personally. There was over 100 people, a lot of people in the community, just simply finding this support from the president's office. I've been following the community Facebook groups here in Northern Kentucky, and a lot of the chatter has again been some complaints about Massey breaking with the president, complaints about, how lockstep with Republicans he's been because of some of those splits with the president. And again, this public campaign by President Trump, his administration, and Hegseth, that has been a huge way that they have really raised this awareness for Gallrein here in Kentucky. And Gallrein also playing up a lot about him being born and raised here, former Navy SEAL, military service member, and that really has been a lot of the public awareness campaign coming from Washington.
So, Logan, I know you've been talking to the operatives of Ed Gallrein. Are you all expecting, if he were to secure a victory tonight, and we're probably a ways away from seeing that, are you all expecting a live phone call from President Donald Trump into that room where you are?
Sorry, I actually had a little bit of issues hearing you on that last question. Just repeat one last time.
President Trump did a telephone rally yesterday with both Andy Barr and Ed Gallrein. Do you expect, if Ed Gallrein pulls off a victory, that you all will be hearing from President Trump in that room in a phone call tonight?
That's a good question, and a question that I will be sure to ask Gallrein. It hasn't been discussed here yet tonight, but President Trump has been very vocal on social media about his support for it. As you mentioned, that support also for Barr, who won the nomination. So this is something to keep an eye on throughout the course of the night if the president's going to chime in. The answer is to be determined, but I'll be sure to keep tabs and keep updated.
Okay, Logan McDonald, excellent reporting for us.